More snow. We can't get rid of this stuff anymore. Hi, bae. Good boy, good boy. We've talked about this plenty of times before, but taking care of our animals, especially the correct way, is very important to us here. And we want to make sure that we are doing all we can to make sure that happens. This morning's a morning not to have the food outside because it is really cold, so we'll put it in their warm hut for the chickens.
The road that lay open on
and their water.
When the old one's gone under the knife, and I can feel the sun on my skin.
Good morning, chickens. Morning, Caesar. I know, the white stuff's on the ground again. Are you not gonna come out? You're just gonna stay in there all day? Morning, piggies. Hi. Hi, guys. So today, hopefully with our pigs, hopefully we have been taking the best care for them. We really pride ourselves that we've been able to take the best care of the animals that we have here on our property. But of course, especially when it's your very first time ever taking care of an animal like a pig, or chickens, or dogs, or cats, or anything, you're gonna make mistakes. You obviously just don't wanna make the same mistakes twice. One of those really cold days again today. So the chickens are probably in their little hut. How's everyone doing? Cooked some bacon up this morning, so what I did with the leftover grease is I threw some oats inside there, let it soak it all up so that one, it cleans it up. Now the chickens are gonna have a really nice treat. You guys want some of these? All right. Piggies. So one question we've been having lately is, how well are we really taking care of our pigs? And specifically with how much we're feeding them each day. It's so much different than a chicken that you're just kind of maintaining and make sure that they have the right amount. For a pig, and especially one that you're raising for meat, as they grow, you need them to grow bigger and bigger. You're trying to not maintain weight, you're trying to allow them to gain weight. And lately we've been wondering, have we been feeding them the right amount that they actually need? Because it seems like every time we come outside, whether we come to see them or not even to see them, but they just see us, we hear this noise. It's really got us to start now looking into, are we feeding them the appropriate amount? Because they've been squealing so loud sometimes, and it makes us wonder, are they super hungry? Are they cold? What are they trying to tell us? It's really got us looking into these pigs. So number one, which we already knew when we got them, they are mostly Mangalitsa pigs. Mangalistas are a heritage breed of pig, and because that is, they weren't bred so that they would grow as fast as possible, so that companies and people could be efficient with growing them fast and then being able to put them in their freezer as soon as possible. And because that is the reason, a purebred Mangalitsa wouldn't need to eat that much per day and they would do a lot of foraging. But because our Mangalitsa pigs are crossed, most likely crossed with like a feeder type pig, we can't just feed them exactly how a purebred Mangalitsa would be. Especially right now during the winter time when foraging is harder to do because the ground is harder and they have less to go after. Less greens, less in the bushes, less on the trees. After looking into a whole lot about what Mangalistas eat, what a feeder pig needs, I don't think we're too far off what we've been needing to do. We could probably feed them a little bit more, but definitely if you look online and you look at Mangalitsa pigs, they definitely look more like how our pigs look. So I'm leaning towards more, we should feed them more towards Mangalitsa guidelines than feeder pig guidelines. But at the same time, we don't want these guys to be hungry. And during the winter time, like I said, they're gonna forage less, so we do have to feed them a little extra here during the winter time. Because Mangalistas are such good foragers, they're really good at rooting up. And here, let me show you. So you can definitely see areas like this. This is what I mean. They are rooting this tree completely out of the ground, and it is basically out of the ground now, which we want them to clear this area. So that's gonna make it a lot easier for us now to take this out. But if you're looking to get these guys, just know that they are going to clear area and really root up any of the spots that you keep them. You guys are still trying to find whatever feed's left there, huh? You shouldn't be too hungry. I've fed you quite a bit so far. Another thing that during the winter time, especially when you're using electrical fencing, if you're using this Premier 1 fencing, which you can see right here, good thing I turned it off. I was kind of afraid that I didn't right there. It's very light, which is good. When it snows or roots up onto it, it does start to short out, which will not keep them in. So I just want to make sure, grab it and shake off any dirt or snow that might be along the fence line here at all. Bailey and Caesar like to play along this fence line. Yeah, you like to watch her, huh? I'm not sure if Caesar or Bailey, either of them would call it playing, but I'm gonna call it playing because it makes it sound like it's nicer. One animal I would say that we're getting very used to taking care of, and I feel like we're starting to do it pretty well, is our chickens over here. As Delilah starts feeding them some grubs. Are they hungry? Yeah, it's cold. Like I said, we're all geared up. We've had them for over a year, and I just think that we're really starting to get the hang of it. I think if we make it through this winter, we're no experts by any mean, but I would say that I feel very comfortable giving really good advice to people about taking care of chickens. I just want to see how we handle this winter with a few extra chickens than we had last winter, and then having them more in a free range environment, which we didn't before, so we'll see how it goes. I think that's enough grubs for those guys. Okay. Should we go give the pigs some more food? All right. On top of just, are we feeding our pigs enough feed on the days, and are they getting enough, are they not? The other big dilemma we're having with our pigs right now is what to feed them. Unfortunately right now, we still go buy commercial bag feeds for them. Although it's not something that's gonna end up harming them in the long term, since those feeds have a lot of corn in them, it can damage the quality of meat that they're actually gonna give for you when you go to put them in your freezer. So it's something that we're trying to shy away from, and we are doing our very best to look up what to feed them, what's best for them, how can we get around not using the commercial feed. We feed them a lot of our food scraps already. We did get the pumpkins at one point, and we're coming out here and feeding them pumpkins so they had something different. We are just in that planning process right now to think what we can feed for these pigs that's gonna supply them with the right nutrients, that's gonna fill them up, let them grow, and be healthy for them. By no means do we think they're getting the worst nutrition ever right now, but we do think we could do better. And if you think you can do better, you have to find a way to do that. Those are those things that weigh on you when you want to try to take the best possible care of your animals. You want to eat some? Guys, you gotta back up a little bit. When I stay home, I need you on my fire. I want you to know that every time cut the other guy. I long for you so much I can find my way. We'll let them eat and get out of here for a little bit. At least to stay alive. They didn't knock their food over, so that's good. They did drink basically all their water though. You guys were thirsty today. All right, I'll get some new water. Well, a half dozen eggs again. That's a good number if we can keep that up throughout the winter time. We have 14 laying hens, so if we can get about 6 eggs a day, that'll keep up a nice supply for us. Taking care of those two guys has definitely been something that has been very interesting to us. It's definitely something that we wanted to do. We wanted to be able to take care of pigs, raise our own meat, and try that out for a first time. And we are having a first time with it. There's been a lot of new learning curves. They keep happening nonstop. And the best thing you can do as any kind of animal owner in any kind of situations is learn, and don't be afraid to own up to the mistakes. Like I said, for our feed that we were giving them, we really weren't underfeeding them, but we definitely have room to give them a little extra after kind of looking more into it. It's unfortunate for the animal kind of when you go through your first time. So we just brought these pigs here about, what is it, maybe 3 to 4 months ago. And when we first brought them here, I felt very confident actually for where we put them, where they needed to go, what we were feeding them, how much we were feeding them. And now as they get older and bigger, we're learning with them and figuring out what we need to do. What's the next step? What's the next thing that these pigs are gonna need? And the best thing to realize is that it's not always gonna be the same. These pigs that we're raising here for the very first time on our homestead, they're gonna allow us to take better care of the next time we have pigs. And then those pigs will allow us to take better care of the next time we have pigs. And that's just the way you have to look at it, is that there's no way to really be perfect all the time in these situations. You have to make sure that you are adapting and learning. Every animal is probably going to be different. Like I said, we've never had pigs other than these pigs, but I'm sure the next time we have pigs, those pigs are probably going to be a little different and have different needs than these pigs. It is cold. I'm going to go inside so I can warm up. You guys have a great day and a better tomorrow, and we'll see you in the next one.